Alvarez, State Representative Diane Hart, State's Attorney Susie Lopez. After this briefing, the team will be available for any questions. The county is currently under hurricane and storm surge warnings. We're expecting to see 10 to 15 feet of storm surge for Hurricane Milton. The county is also under flood watch. We're expecting to see record floods along Alafaya and the Little Manatee. And we can also expect to see tornadoes possibly after the storm passes. Another reason why mobile and manufactured home folks throughout the county need to evacuate. This may be the worst storm that we've seen in 100 years to hit West Central Florida. We are still under a Zone A, Zone B evacuation order to include all mobile and manufactured homes. I still need you to be in your safe place by 7 a.m. on Wednesday. That gets you where you need to be, whether it's with family or friends, at a hotel, or in one of the emergency shelters provided by the county. You're nice and safe, you're not rushed, you don't forget anything. Make sure you have your family, all their essentials, your pets. Make sure you have your medication, your important documentation. So spend the rest of the day moving through your checklist, moving through your plan, and moving out safely. For those of you who are leaving the county, you don't have to leave the county. We have plenty of room in the shelters. But those of you who have started and moving throughout the county, just be safe out there on the roadways so that you arrive safely and make it back here at home after this danger passes. I want you to know your zone. Go to hcfl.gov/stay safe. If you're not aware of what your zone is, you can find that on the county website at hcfl.gov/stay safe, and you'll be able to look up what evacuation zone you're in. We currently have 9 shelters open for the general population and our special needs clients. Our special needs clients are any of those folks who have medical equipment that may require electricity or may require any medical support. It doesn't reach the level of being in a hospital, but you just need a level of care and attention. And we can provide that in our special needs shelters. And our shelters also covers pets as well. Our shelters are our last resort. If you have an opportunity to go somewhere that's a little bit more comfortable, that you're familiar with, again, your family, friends, or a good neighbor, go ahead and do that right now. Take that time today to get where you need to be before tomorrow morning. But if you do come to our shelters, we're gonna take care of you. You can't bring the whole house, but you just need to bring some essentials, something to entertain the kids, and any special items you may need for your pets as well. So we have plenty of space left. We have about 1,762 folks there, 178 pets right now, but we're prepared to take on a lot more folks into our shelters. Again, I want you to sign up for HCFL Alert to make sure you stay updated with all the latest information. If anything changes, the storm continues to strengthen out there, but it's expected possibly to go down. But all of these storms are unpredictable, and we're going to keep communicating as long as we can, while we can, the impending danger, and making any adjustments that we need to. So stay tuned, please. We're still at a level 1 activation at the EOC. We're staging resources before, during, and after to make sure that we're ready to go coming out of the gate to begin those measures that we may have to take for saving any lives initially, making sure that we take care of any of those emergency operations. We're gonna be clearing routes so that first responders can get through, clearing those routes so that we can get all the vital resources we need to get to our staging area so that we can begin pushing resources out to the most impacted parts of the county. So I want you to, for those of you who can't get online or uncomfortable using those devices, we do have an opportunity for our HC Storm Information Helpline. That's 833-HC-STORM. Or you can call 833-427-8676. There's no reason why you can't get to a shelter. We have rides available. And the Florida Division of Emergency Management have even given us additional resources. So They've provided transport strategically placed throughout the county. You can take advantage of calling the HC Storm Line, the 833 HC Storm Line for county assets to get a ride. And you can also call 800-729-3413. 800-729-3413. And these are assets provided by the Florida Division of Emergency Management. That came in last night, so at least I had some good news coming in this morning. So we can get folks to this space we still have in our shelters, and that transportation will be available at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And they're putting them in strategic locations at a couple of the different grocery stores where most people frequent and are familiar with and can make it to in their neighborhood. Our sandbag sites are closed today. Sandbag sites are currently closed today. So make sure you don't go out to any of those looking at any old messages and making your way out there and standing in line and their sites are closed. So make sure that you pass that along. So we're going to continue, again, putting vital resources in place. We want you to get to where you need to be, take advantage of the rest of the day. Make sure you're communicating for any of your loved ones that did leave the county, making sure they check in, that they made it where they need to be. So I want you all to know that we're going to get through this. So you've got a lot of emergency responders, emergency management folks, and a lot of partners. This is what we do all year round, all year round. All year round, we train for every hazard and every scenario. And if something's presented new to us, which it always is, we have enough resources and enough smart people in place that we'll figure it all out. So don't panic. You have time. Get somewhere safe, and we'll see you on the other end. Thank you. Next, we'll hear from the Fire Chief, Jason Dogy.
Good morning. Thank you, Tim. My name is Jason Dogy. I'm Hillsborough County Fire Chief. First, want to look to the folks behind me and tell you how much I appreciate your collaboration and teamwork in helping our citizens of Hillsborough County. An amazing leadership team that will work together to ensure the safety of our citizens. I'm going to reemphasize some of the points that Tim made, but I'm going to be very direct in my communications with everybody. There's a lot of information to be shared, but I want you to know directly from me where fire rescue is at. Hillsborough County remains ready. Our municipal partners are ready as well. We are fully prepared, along with our partners, to respond to Hurricane Milton's threat to our community. This storm is a major hurricane after undergoing rapid intensification. Only 2 other hurricanes have intensified faster than Hurricane Milton. This storm will bring life-threatening storm surge to our region, damaging winds, torrential rain, and flooding. Zone A and Zone B residents, especially those along the coast and the areas that are prone to flooding, you must leave. I'm not asking you to leave. I'm telling you, you must leave. Heed our warnings. I cannot stress enough to our residents and our businesses the importance of leaving these evacuation zones. As we saw during Hurricane Helene, the storm surge threat to our region is extremely high. It is very real. It is very dangerous. We ordered evacuations for Zone A and B in mobile and manufactured homes for a very good reason. If you remain there, you will be in severe danger. My men and women could get hurt or possibly even worse trying to rescue you. Please don't put our first responders in that situation where they have to make these choices to risk their own life to save you. We do that every day, but during this, it's all preventable. During this type of emergency, it's preventable. Please heed the warning. Please do what we're asking and evacuate. If you delay until the storm arrives, emergency responders may not be able to respond to you. You need to clearly understand that. Our folks, once the sustained winds reach above 40 miles per hour, our folks in fire rescue cannot respond to you. We're not going to be able to respond to your calls for help until after the storm passes. So please do what we're asking, evacuate. We're not asking you, we're ordering you to please evacuate. Please monitor local outlets as well as Hillsborough County social media at Hillsborough FL take care of yourselves, take care of your neighbors, be safe. Now I'll ask County Administrator Bonnie Wise to join us.
Thank you, Chief Doherty, and good morning, everyone. As of now, all residents in Zone A and Zone B, those mobile homes and manufactured homes, and those in low-lying areas prone to flooding must be in a safe place by 7 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, October 9th. That's worth repeating. By 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, everybody who is evacuating needs to be where they're going to stay and stay there until you receive the all clear. This storm is very dangerous. Do not delay. Leave if you are in an evacuation zone. And remember, you don't need to go to a shelter. Ask a relative, a friend, a coworker who lives outside of the evacuation zone if you can stay with them. And if you don't mind, please do me a favor and do check on your neighbors. There still is time to prepare, but you do need to move quickly. Hillsborough County's Disaster Preparedness Guide provides valuable information about our shelters and more. It is available via hcfl.gov/stay safe. It's in English and in Spanish, and it contains comprehensive information on how to prepare for any hazard. In addition, this is a time to double check your hurricane kits and make sure you have enough supplies and medicine for you and your family to last 7 days. In advance of the storm, all Hillsborough County offices and facilities, including all parks and libraries, are closed today, tomorrow, and Thursday, October 10th, for regular operations to allow staff to focus on the emergency response to Hurricane Milton. The county's 5,000 employees are ready to respond to help speed recovery from the storm as soon as it is safe to do so. In the meantime, please listen to the instructions of state and local governments, local agencies, and other trusted, verified sources. I want you to know that you are not facing this alone. We are all in this together, and we will get through this together. Thank you. And now I'm going to invite Commissioner Chair Ken Hagen to speak a few words.
Thank you, Bonnie. Good morning. I'm Commissioner Ken Hagen, Chair of the Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners. I want to thank the men and women of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and Office of Emergency Management who are working around the clock to prepare for this devastating storm. I am comforted in knowing that they have prepared for the worst case scenarios for years and ready to tackle any challenge and are in constant contact with our local, state, and national partners. I also want to express my appreciation to residents who are heeding our evacuation orders. You are making it safer for our first responders and employees who are working very hard to keep everyone safe. The most important message I have for our residents is if you live in an evacuation zone, I implore you to leave. You must be in a safe place by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Time is running short. Do not delay. I can't be more clear about this. If you are told to evacuate and you remain, you, your family, and your pets are in harm's way. Evacuating doesn't mean you have to leave the state or go across the state. It simply means going inland above the evacuation zones, I'd say probably 15, 20 miles to be safe. We know this isn't easy, but it's the right decision to make to leave, and it's the best choice for you, your family and pets, and for our first responders. A quick note again about the warnings regarding electric vehicles for EV owners in flood-prone areas. Please be vigilant. Never drive through floodwater. Water and EV batteries do not mix. Water will not only damage the battery, but can lead to dangerous battery fires. Combustion can occur quickly or manifest for weeks or months when exposed to salt water. Additionally, the city of Tampa has opened their parking garages for free for EV owners in flood-prone areas. I would encourage you to park your vehicle in one of the parking garages so that it will remain high and dry. Again, please continue to monitor updated weather forecast, government updates, and media reports. Thank you, and be safe. And I'd like to ask Sheriff Krister to make some remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, we now know that the storm has slowed down. We know that it has grown in strength and size. We know that the cone of uncertainty has shrunk. It's going to make landfall between Tampa and Sarasota. The disadvantage with the storm slowing down and gaining in size, it doesn't matter where it makes landfall. We're going to feel the catastrophic effects, 125 to 130 mile per hour winds, rain of 5 to 10 inches, storm surge from 10 to 15 feet. You must be prepared. If you want to gamble, gamble. But there's plenty of ways to do that. But don't gamble with your life or the lives of your loved ones. The time to get out is now. The only benefit of the storm slowing down is it's afforded us all a longer opportunity to have more time to get prepared, to put that plan in place. I have to tell you, I'm so proud of this community. Since the county administrator has announced evacuation in zones A and B, people are heeding the warnings. We were up in the helicopters and we see the traffic on 75 and I-4. You are taking advantage of the opportunity you've been given and you are leaving. We even work with the highway patrol and we opened up the emergency lanes to allow more vehicles to leave that want to leave. We're in communication with the governor's office and the highway patrol to determine if there is a need that arises that we even have to open up the shoulder of the road to allow more people who want to leave the opportunity to leave. Thank you. Thank you to this community. I see the long lines at gas stations. I see the long lines at grocery stores and supply avenues. You're getting your essential items. You're heeding the warnings. Thank you for doing that. Let me focus just a minute on what your sheriff's office is doing. As you can imagine, we're still busy. We have a lot of assets, resources, and equipment that we have to strategically place around the county to keep the equipment and our deputies safe, so when it's go time and we all face the aftermath of this storm, that we have the equipment and the personnel to be able to do that. We're working in the evacuation zones. We have a heavy presence there. We're assisting with evacuations. We're providing security at the 12 shelters. Thank you to those. We get it might be a last case scenario, but you're taking advantage of the shelters. Thank you for responding. We are getting ready then to deploy our resources, whether it's search and rescue, our cut teams, our chainsaw teams to allow roadways to open, to make sure we can get those utility vehicles and those first responders where they need to be. A lot of equipment. That's what we're currently doing right now. Listen, everyone, we know that asking you to leave, asking you to go stay at a shelter, at your friend's house, a loved one's house, go somewhere to stay at a hotel, we know it's uncomfortable. We know it's an inconvenience. Yes, you have to leave that favorite lazy boy at home and make a decision. It's time to protect you and your family. Safeguard them first. We understand that. But yes, you may be inconvenienced and you may be uncomfortable. But if you listen to us, you and your loved ones will be alive. We get it. It's horrible. But we are in this together, and we will be with you every step along the way. Thank you.
Good morning, Van Air, Superintendent, Hillsborough County Public Schools. Just a few updates from Hillsborough County Public Schools. This morning, I sent a message to all our families and our staff informing them that all Hillsborough County Public Schools and district offices will remain closed through Friday, October 11th. Again, all Hillsborough County Public Schools will remain closed through Friday, October 11th. We ask our families and staff to continue to take all precautions during and after the storm and visit Hillsborough County's website for more information. And we'll continue to update our families and staff through email, text, and social media and our website. So just an update, our schools are closed, but what's happening with Hillsborough County Public Schools right now, we have 11 of our schools that are currently active as shelters. So I want to take a moment to thank all of our student nutrition staff that provide meals to all the evacuees, our custodial staff, all of our leaders in our buildings that are providing that support. We have 11 that are open currently. We have another 14 that our leaders are on standby at this very moment waiting for that call. So just wanted to to provide that update from Hillsborough County Public Schools. Again, 11 of our schools provided as shelters currently, another 14 waiting for that call to provide support to this community. Thank you to all, and stay safe.
Good morning. I'm Nate Kilton, the mayor of the great city of Plant City. Here's the bottom line, folks. So much of life we can't control what happens to us. We certainly can't control the storm, and in these circumstances, really all we can control are decisions. Right now, the most important decision is for your safety. It's too late when the storm gets here. If you're in an evacuation zone or a mobile home, and I think sometimes folks in Plant City think we're a little bit more sheltered because we're more inland, well, you need to get to a safe place, and today's the time to do it. When the storm gets here, it's too late, and we won't be able to come and get you. Oftentimes, I like to say that it's a great day in Plant City, and even in these tough times, it's still always a great day, and it's because of who we are as a community, not just in Plant City, but across the Bay Area. It's these types of events that galvanize us. When we come together, neighbor helping neighbor, those are the things that really stick with us when the time passes. And I'll tell you, I'm so proud of our team in Plant City. Our leadership team, all of our team members are phenomenal. We are prepared for this storm. We are ready to serve you. But we need you to be good partners with us. Right? We can't do all of it on our own. We'll be out there and removing debris as soon as the storm passes, I promise you. But we ask you to also continue to make the right decisions. Be kind with people, be generous, be patient. It's going to take time. This is going to be a big event for debris and for utilities coming back online. Please stay off the roads unless you absolutely have to be out there. Stay away from down power lines. There's going to be debris. We need to have the roads open for first responders and for debris removal and for utilities to come back online. If you're coming to flashing lights, please be careful. We've had several accidents and even fatalities over these last storms in those instances. So we're committed to this. I'm confident in what the response is going to be. The most important thing, again, is to be safe and just be good partners with us, and we'll get through it. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Temple Terrace Mayor Andy Ross. Two things I'd like to ask of the public, and one of them is after the storm passes, please stay home. And so after the storm passes, it's a normal response for people to want to go and check out their neighborhood and check out the surroundings to see how bad things were damaged. Please do not do that. Part of your preparation should be to have enough supplies to be self-sufficient for a few days. Use them. Use those supplies after the storm. I mean, it's okay to go out and look around your own yard, but stay home. There will almost certainly be trees down and some power lines down. And the last thing that the response teams need are people out unnecessarily just driving around sightseeing. So you've got your supplies. Stay home and use them, right? Don't go out after the storm and start looking around. The second thing I'd like you to do is look out for each other now, right? So we're 3 or 4 days into nonstop terrifying messages to the public, right? Get out. If you don't get out, you're likely to be injured or killed, or your house is going to be destroyed. And so day after day after day of this takes a mental strain on people. This is really stressful for a lot of people. So look out for each other. I think it was mentioned, check on your neighbors, call your friends, make sure they have what they need, stay in touch. Look out for each other, because even if your home is fine, even if everything is fine, the mental health impact of this can be catastrophic. And so I would recommend that you check social media or check the website, the Hillsborough County Emergency Operations or Emergency Management. Stay informed, but don't just leave the television on watching this 24/7 nonstop, right? That is not mentally healthy. So check it every hour, every 2 hours when the updates come out. Stay informed. I'm not telling you to just hibernate, but stay informed. But turn the television off in between those updates, right? It is not healthy to just sit there 24/7 and listen to this kind of stuff. So don't panic. Look out for each other. We do what we do better in this community than anybody else, and that is we work together. We've done this before. We have some of the best government leaders in the country are here. And so we will get through this. We are resilient. So stay strong, look out for each other, and stay home for a day or two after the storm, please. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Senator Jay Collins. First and foremost, what I want you to know is that your government is united. We're communicating and we're collaborating to work for the citizens of Hillsborough County. When you listen to what each and every leader up here is saying, you'll find unity and conviction of voice. That's incredibly important. If you are in a flood zone or if you are in an evacuation zone, take this serious. This is a life-threatening situation. But here's what I want to talk about that I haven't quite heard put this way. Hard times often bring out the best in everybody. When you look at the leaders behind us, this isn't politics. This is about people, our community. When you go down into the streets in Hillsborough County, you find neighbors helping neighbors, people coming across and doing amazing things. That is the mindset, that is the approach that we have to maintain. I want to hit a few key things here from the state's perspective that we are bringing to bear. Right now, the state has removed 21,000 yards of debris. We have 37,000 linemen on standby. We have thousands of guardsmen prepped and ready. 1.2 million gallons of fuel are on the way here. The disaster fund for the state of Florida is up and operational, and that'll be focused on taking care of those who have suffered from this upcoming hurricane. Currently, we have 930 missions to assist our counties across the state. 34 aircraft for CSAR are available. That is just as we help North Carolina, other states are coming aligned to help us and prepare us for what's to come. Our Florida State Guard is prepped and ready to go with their CSAR aircraft and personnel on the ground. FDLE has more than 50 active law enforcement missions identifying the camps, fuel stations, and post-storm response squads. We have DOH with over 700 emergency response vehicles on the I-4 corridor, staging and currently ready to respond to what's necessary. ACA has prepped and is communicating with hospitals across the region. Commissioner Wilton Simpson has set up and waived through an emergency order the interstate movement on requirements for transportation of animals and livestock. So those of you with livestock and animals, just know that you can reach out to DAX to get more information and take care of what you've got. Let's talk a little bit about what FDOT is doing. As you heard mentioned earlier, tolls have been suspended. That's a great thing as we move in and out of here. And then the ESU, emergency shoulder use, has been enacted by Jared Perdue to make sure that if we have to move out of here quickly, that's maximized. At the director of Governor DeSantis, FDOT is coordinating debris removal, and that will continue on until we can't go any longer. Currently, 74 quick response forces and troopers are set to stage across this area. FHP is providing security in the Pinellas landfill, will be assisting debris cleanup and assisting with traffic control throughout this area. The last thing I want to talk about is Florida Commerce. If you are a businessman, you are eligible for potential emergency bridge loans. You can go to the floridajobs.org/EBL. And if you're a dislocated worker, you don't have a job right now, there will be worker grants to go ahead and get people back on their feet and get this community moving forward. The last thing I want to talk about is the first thing I talked about. Build your plan, work your plan, be prepared for what's coming on. This is not a time to think fast and emotionally. This is a time to think critically and move with a purpose. Together, when we work in collaboration with clear communication, we will always be Florida strong. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mary Lou Carr, and I'm with Tampa Electric. We know this is a stressful time for our community, and we want to assure everyone that we're doing everything we can to prepare for a safe restoration. Tampa Electric has initiated our storm plans, and we have been working around the clock to prepare for Hurricane Milton. Our crews train year-round, every year for this scenario. We are confident we have the resources and the expertise to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. So far, we've mobilized 4,500 utility workers from as far away as Texas, Missouri, and Minnesota to help us with our restoration efforts. To give you an idea of how seriously we are taking this storm, this is the largest deployment of utility workers Tampa Electric, or TECO, has ever taken to help with the restoration effort. Even with these preparations, a storm of this magnitude will have serious consequences and cause significant damage to our infrastructure, and we urge customers to be prepared for widespread and extended outages. We ask that you please have patience as we work to restore power after the storm. As safety is very important at Tampa Electric, there are a few safety tips I'd like to share with everyone and hope that you follow these in your preparations. If you are evacuating your home, particularly for flood reasons, please turn off the main breaker of your house make sure your hands are dry and you're not standing in water. If you depend on life-sustaining medical equipment, please have a backup source of power as you may experience a power outage. Never operate portable generators indoors or in enclosed spaces. They need to be in a dry location, out of the rain, and well ventilated. Avoid floodwaters. Water and electricity do not mix. An area of floodwater could have active power in it. It could have a downed power line in it. Please avoid that and avoid downed power lines. And if you see those, please call 911. Lastly, if you smell rotten eggs, that could indicate a natural gas leak, which would be an emergency, and please call 911 and stay as far away as possible. The last thing I would like to address before I close is that we have no plans currently to deactivate power anywhere in the area. We only proactively turn off power in a rare case that flooding is imminent and storm surge has reached critical levels. This action is reserved for extreme circumstances. And again, we have no plans to do this. We did not need to do this in Helene, even though we had record-breaking storm surge. This allows us to have a quicker restoration after a storm if we needed to turn off the power to protect the equipment when water recedes. So please, we have no plans to proactively turn off power in the area. I urge everyone to stay safe, and thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everyone. We'll now open it up for any questions. All right, we have no questions. Stay safe. Thank you.